Hi, my name is Faviola Hernandez, and I decided to do my research project based off of different learning styles. So three of the most common learning styles are visual, kinesthetic, and verbal learning. So some of the best ways that these people learn: for visual learners, people learn best through looking at flashcards, watching videos, and looking at pictures as well. Then there's auditory learners. These are people that learn best by participating in oral groups, oral readings, and listening to CDs. And lastly, there are kinesthetic learners. These people are a little more hands-on, and they learn best through touch, playing games, and using their body to acquire information. For my experiment, I used children from my mom's daycare, both boys and girls, ages 5 through 7, to measure and understand the different styles of learning. The purpose of my project is to see what learning styles work best for children of this age group. So there's a total of 6 children participating in this experiment, 3 girls and 3 boys. I began the experiment by giving them a mini survey to ask them what they thought their learning style was, and I explained each and every one of them to them. So the 3 that were their options are kinesthetic, auditory, and visual learning. So then, after doing so, I would give them 5 sets of different cards, and I would read it out loud and show it to them. So the first 5 sets were these animal cards, and for the animal cards, this was more of our visual test. So I'd hold the card up for about 5 minutes or less, and I wouldn't say anything to them, and I'd let them look at it, and I'd let them figure out what animal it was, and then later I'd take it into a separate room and I'd document what they had learned. Then I would do the same thing for their auditory test. I'd hand them different cards as well, and I'd hold them up, and I'd say the word several times and repeat myself to make sure that everybody heard me. And then again, I'd take them into a separate room and I'd document the information. Lastly, for the kinesthetic test, I not only read the cards out loud and I showed it to the children, but I also handed it to them so that they could be more hands-on with it and touch it and see it for themselves. And again, I'd take it into a separate room and I'd document what they had seen and what they had learned. My hypothesis at the beginning of the experiment was that all children, because they're so young, they would be stronger and more verbal and visual learners. But at the end of my experiment, I had to modify my hypothesis because not all children were strong in visual and auditory learning. Some actually excelled more in kinesthetic learning, while others only dominated in one specific area. My conclusion is that in order to have an effective learning environment for children of any age, and have an equal opportunity to reach their fullest potential of learning, all 3 learning styles must be practiced. So auditory, visual, and kinesthetic learning while teaching a subject. Thank you all for listening and watching, and hopefully this has inspired you to find your best learning style so you can attain better study habits and just memorize and learn information better. Thank you.